This is our online character. He has officially lived through a whole GTA game era, from completing small-time robberies in 2013.
See, I told you, y'all gonna get along great. Y'all can take this on the road, have your little ventriloquist act going on. Maybe you can stick your hand up his give him the dough.
To saving the world in 2017.
Get in those silly jetpacks and chase that little snot!
To ultimately becoming the best criminal in Los Santos in 2025, it has been an incredible story. Sadly, all good things come to an end, and this year will mark as the end of an era for our incredible mastermind, as GTA 6 is just around the corner. Because of that, it is a perfect time to recap the inspiring story of our online character in Los Santos. In today's video, we will do just that, and with a level of detail yet to be done by anyone on the internet. Without further ado, let's get right on into it. Our story begins in early 2013, when our online character arrives to the LSIA from Liberty City. At the terminal, he is greeted by Lamar Davis, who he had met on Life Invader a few months prior to that.
Oh, you fine as a mother. Oh, I mean that like not like in a stalker type way or nothing. I'm just saying, like, you do look good. You know, we've been friends online for so long, it's time for us to take our relationship a little bit further, like in like, oh, my bad, it ain't like that, excuse me, That's neither here nor there. Despite the rejection, I'm still gonna help you get settled in, baby. You might not be the flowers type girl, but I got something else for you. Hi, y'all. Welcome to Los Santos.
Lamar told our online character that Los Santos was the place to be in order to take a next step in his criminal career, which our online character decided to listen. Right on arriving at Los Santos, Lamar introduced us to his fellow gang member Gerald, who was one of the first people to give us jobs in the new city.
Yeah. All right, here. It's right. Don't bother counting it. You get anything else interesting? Bring it my way.
Yeah, what I tell you, he like you. And now you got you some bread. What you need to do is go get you some other gear, because you bummy as You can't be walking around with me looking like that. You need to better representate yourself, you know what I'm talking about?
It was also true, Lamar, that we got to also work for our second employer in the city, the car salesman Simeon.
But if you are very lucky, maybe we become business associates, which is even better. The modifications on the car, they are a present, a gift from me to you. And like all gifts, they are freely given, although you are now forever in my debt. Bearing that in mind, at all times, perhaps I will text you with the occasional favor for me. Listen, eventually, after many years of hard work, you too can afford a nasty lockup in which to keep all your classily modified and unique vehicles. But in the meantime, just don't get robbed, okay?
Through these first jobs, we started to build a reputation for ourselves in the criminal scene of Los Santos. This eventually led to us to be connected by bigger and bigger criminals in the game. Once we had reached the reputation level 10, our perhaps most reliable partner to this day decided to contact us. I'm of course talking about Lester Crest himself.
You have made a big name for yourself. And that name is Dangerous Idiot who's just waiting to get robbed. So do yourself a favor and put some of that not so hard-earned money into real estate. Then you can be a real player, just like me. Jesus, as I say that, I realize how depressing and pathetic I've become.
Now that we also had Lester's contact, he also hired us to conduct missions for him in exchange for money. One of the missions included stealing an RV van that, completely by a coincidence, belonged to Trevor Phillips himself. But luckily, instead of killing our online character, Trevor thought it was best to actually create a worked relationship with us.
You disgust me. You, what kind of a sick harridan are you, huh? You come here and you walk around the state like you own it. You never write, you never call. I mean, you don't even send a welcome basket or maybe a nice plate of cookies. Or not even an inappropriate selfie of your But I love you. Really, I love you. You're like the close female friend I've always wanted. You're like the eager soldierette that I've always needed. So it's time to start repaying your debt to society. And you can start by dealing with the terrible harm you've done to the local businesses, especially mine. Now go on.
And just like that, we also created a relationship with the first main protagonist of the GTA 5 storyline. And finally, when we reached rank 18, it was the cartel leader Martin Madrazo who finally claimed us to be worthy enough of a criminal to work for him.
I feel we will be great friends. Hey, look at this place! Isn't it beautiful? A modernist wonder home, very significant. My business associate lives here. I bought it for her, for him, for her as a present, because I like her as a business associate. Anyway, here, give me that. Yes, perfect. I will do great. Good working with you, my friend. I'll see you again.
Working for all the already big-time criminals in Los Santos brought us some money. We managed to buy ourselves a simple apartment, even a Turismo R or a Centorno supercar. And if we were incredibly successful, we could even buy ourselves the $1 million Truffaut Adder supercar, the real king of the streets at the time. But nonetheless, just working for big-time criminals won't make yourself the most notorious criminal in the world yourself. Our online character realized that, and from the experience that he got from working for other people, he wanted to conduct his own first real heists with the help of Lester. Unfortunately, at first, Lester told that we were just not ready enough to conduct these sorts of heists.
So, I know you've been complaining, but you weren't ready.
It is quite weird how, at first sight, Lester didn't seem to really have hope for our online character's abilities. Even in 2013, if Michael asked Lester about his contacts in town, Lester referred to us, but ultimately taught us to be yet too unpredictable.
Alright, well, we're gonna need a crew. You got any contacts in LS or not?
I've been working with someone, but they're too unpredictable. I'll have to reach out to some other guys.
Luckily, in 2015, there was something that just snapped in Lester's mind. Whether it was just his own change of plans, or if he was just generous, we may never know. But he offered our online character to rob the Flisa bank as our first real heist. And so, with our associate, we went to rob the bank situated on the coast of the Pacific Ocean. Our online character and his associate absolutely perfected the robbery, for which we even got a hidden congratulations from Lester himself.
Hey, for the first time that wasn't bad, but don't get clingy.
No, Lester, we didn't in fact get cocky. Because of the success that our online character had with the first heist, Lester gave our contacts over to some agents he had connections with in the IAA. Specifically to Agent 14, who later on became to be one of our closest associates.
So, Mr. Crest said we should talk about work, but not here. Is there a room in the back or something? Cool, I'll get set up.
Agent 14 alongside the IAA came to us with a job offer that included literally breaking a prisoner out of jail. The prisoner was in fact the scientist Maxim Rashkovsky, a Russian genius who was once the founder of the Humane Labs and who the IAA needed to get schematics of the lab from. In exchange, the IAA promised Maxim to break him out of the prison and give him an airplane to fly out of the country. The second part of the job offer from the IAA included our online character breaking into the Humane Labs to steal some sort of chemicals from Merryweather, who was at the time in control of the lab. Of course, we handled the intense missions well and gave over the items to another IAA agent, Karen Daniels.
When I ran agents in the field, I had to entrap them, cajole them, threaten them with deportation. You're never gonna know what I had to do. Now, apparently, all you gotta do is give them a couple bucks and a few kind words. I guess there really is no accounting for stupidity. But, and I'm serious now, as stupid as you are not gonna talk about what happened here. Because your usefulness to us, well, it just ran out.
Now, this was really the first time that our online character conducted a big time mission, not just some small mission or a tiny bank robbery. This was the first time we ever worked alongside a government organization. From now on, we really got a lot of offers on our table. Trevor, who we had built a work relationship in the past, now kind of uninvitedly came to our apartment to kind of force us to work alongside a new heist with him.
Now haven't we met already? Huh? Have you met Ron? Have you? Well, either way, it doesn't matter. Congratulations! Huh? You all now have jobs in a startup. This is it. Trevor Phillips Industries. Welcome aboard.
Our online character really had no other choice but to work with Trevor Phillips Industries, as he was probably quite scared of the consequences of what would happen if we didn't agree to it. The whole operation was quite simple. We needed to rob illegal goods from Trevor's own enemies, like the Ballas, the Lost MC, and so on, so Trevor could later himself sell these goods to his own buyers. Although Trevor paid our online character for his work, then unfortunately it didn't go as well for Trevor when he tried to sell his own goods.
I'm impotent rage. You can't be impotent rage, cause I'm impotent rage. Yes, but I will deal with you later.
Hey, my brother. Yo, it's Phil. It's good to meet you finally.
Hey.
Trevor, ain't it?
So we're gonna do this, or we're gonna have a circle? Or both?
Whatever you want, man. Got the
Yeah, if you came for what you ordered. Yeah, I have them.
Good. Can I see?
Can I see the money?
Yeah, got it. All right. So, Trevor, there is the money. Hand me the first.
What?
The you are selling me.
Excuse me?
Are you selling me, Mr. Phillips?
Why do you keep saying that? And how is it that you know my name?
You are under arrest for trespassing.
Get away! Sakes!
Better luck next time, Trevor. But now that we had proved ourselves to also be competent enough to handle big operations, it was Lester himself who came back with a proposal to once again conduct a bank robbery, but this time a lot bigger one. Our online character was to go and rob the Pacific Standard Bank in Vinewood, perhaps one of the biggest banks in Los Santos as a whole. After we had also conducted our biggest final heist, Lester kindly wired over $10 million to our bank accounts as kind of a gift for being quote-unquote a criminal mastermind. Now this is the point that we can say our online character was really rich for the first time. With all the money we gathered from completing these big heists, we went and bought ourselves nice new designer apartments, new and fast supercars like the T20, and even golden aircrafts or yachts. costing us an entire fortune. Life was really good, and for the first time ever our online character lived like a king. But as it turned out, even then we still managed to spend all of our money so recklessly that after a year we were going completely broke again. After partying and enjoying life for some time on our expensive new toys, it was time to once again step into the criminal underworld of Los Santos. But unlike last time, this time we didn't go and directly start working for some other criminals to earn some money again. In 2016 there was a newly established company called SecuroServe who was looking for a CEO to their business. SecuroServe at its surface was just a security company who provided security services for VIP clients, quite similarly to Group SX or even Merryweather. But under that facade, SecuroServe actually worked as a very illegal, mainly import and export focused business. SecuroServe contacted our online character to also buy into the business. We bought ourselves a new and fascinating CEO office to one of the high rises of Los Santos, which cost us up to $6 million in total. Plus we could spend our last money to also buy ourselves huge 60-car garages alongside the office themselves. From here on out, our online character was involved in a completely new business. The whole operation was built up to quite an easy business model. First, our online character as the CEO would go and rob whoever there was to rob in Los Santos to get some valuable assets. Then we would go and store them in a warehouse storing facility. And once we had enough cargo gathered, we would go and sell it to all our own buyers. This quickly became a hit business model, and our online character earned millions and millions of dollars from it. At first our focus was on special cargo, but later on we also expanded our reach to vehicle cargo. The business model stayed the same: source a car, steal it, store it, and then later on sell it to your own buyers. Seeing the competency our online character had on handling real businesses, Lester also wanted to get in on the action, but this time he didn't directly contact us. Rather, he used an undercover name called LJT to call us. LJT ordered our online character to go and buy a motorcycle club from Malcolm.
Alright. I guess you're gonna be starting some kind of MC chapter of your own? This got all the recreational facilities your crew gonna want. Darts, juke, arm wrestling table, working bar, whatever. And that's that, baby. I'll be in touch if you taking any of that club business. Otherwise, enjoy the place.
But the motorcycle club itself was once again really just a facade for our actual businesses. The actual business included buying up many different facilities in which we could start producing many different illegal goods, from fake cash to some white powders, if you know what I'm talking about. This time the business model was quite different. First off, our online character needed to either steal or buy himself the supplies, of which the workers would then go and create all types of illegal goods from. Once these goods were ready in the facilities, we would once again go and distribute them over to our buyers in Los Santos. You remember how Agent 14 contacted us to work for him once we had proved ourselves to Lester in the heist action? Well, this time it happened once again. In spring of 2017, after we had opened the MC businesses, Agent 14 saw the success our online character and LJT had. He also knew the IAA sold one of their underground bunkers as they were themselves moving out of there. This gave Agent 14 the incredible idea to basically start a one-of-one business with our online character, as we already conducted with LJT. Just this time in the arms business.
Research and manufacturing. You want to make real money? Dirty little secret for you. It's in arms. Log into the network, request a resupply, and bring the hardware back here. The eggheads will take it apart. Cook up new, exciting ways of people. Or just get them to copy existing designs. Then, you sell your weaponry to state-sanctioned actors on the global stage, make a tidy profit, and do the country proud. I got medals for this, I promise you.
All these businesses created us so much revenue that the business period can truly be called the golden era of our actions in GTA Online. Meanwhile, in Sandy Shores, the partnership that Trevor had with his right-hand man Ron Tchaikovsky for some quite uncertain reasons ended. As it has been suggested, Trevor left his businesses in Sandy Shores and for some weird reason moved to Vinewood. Anyway, Ron was searching himself for a new business partner, as our online character was familiar to him from working for Trevor on the contact jobs as well as the failed heist. He also contacted us to open yet another business, this time in the air smuggling field.
Ow! Hi! Oh. You trying to... Oh God, no! Oh, you're my new partner. You bought into the place. You're late. What kept you? Yeah, well, it's too late. That my best friend? Oh, he's supposed to protect me forever? Then he goes all Vinewood on me. He's too important for Ron now.
To be honest, quite a similar business model to our Securaserve business, just on a bit smaller scale. As for the business, it kind of ended the big era of the free mode businesses. What came after it might just be an even bigger achievement in our online character's CV. In the end of 2017, there was a certain someone who knocked on the door of Lester Crest, and that certain someone was no one else but Avon Hertz, a tech billionaire that had created his own coil car company while also having connections in the IAA. This time Avon asked for Lester's help because presumably, according to his AI Clifford, the US was either going to be attacked by the Russians, Chinese, Iranians or the North Koreans. Lester therefore called up the best man he got, aka our online character, to solve this big problem with. The IAA also got involved in the action because their own agents, Agent ULB, the guy from the GTA 4 action, as well as later on Agent 14, were kidnapped. Although at first sight we were fighting alongside Avon Hertz, even clearing an IAA underground facility from unknown mercenaries, then later on, when we were literally raiding a Russian submarine, Avon's real intentions became clear to all of us.
How indeed. Well, thank you, Bogdan. Thank you, Mr. Crest. Thank you, silent, psychotic peons. But this is where I say arrivederci. No, I mean, get ready. I mean, this is where I'm in charge. Me and Clifford. Go yourselves, losers. Yes, losers.
Yes, we're in charge. Me and my dad. We're in charge. And this outdated low-tech submarine will self-destruct in 30 seconds.
I think you've got to get out of there quickly!
Scuba gear by hatch over there. I have secret escape pod. Good luck!
When we got back to the LSIA, Lester told us that this is exactly why he has never ever trusted rich people.
My whole life, I have hated successful people, never trusted anyone. I've doubted and loathed and acted like a creep. And one time, I decided to be nice to someone. It turns out he wants to destroy humanity!
This is all your fault. My career is in ruins. Ruins!
Our planet will be in ruins, you fool, if we don't do something.
He has control of all your systems!
You can't even call out for help.
Then you can do exactly what you have to. You have my authority.
And we'll get paid?
Paid?
Yeah, call it the pension contribution.
Of course, significant ones.
All right, then get this clown out of here. For all I know, you're bugged all to high hell and you don't even know the bugs exist!
Good luck.
Anyway, now that we were actually fighting against Avon, we started planning the raid of his Clifford headquarters in Mount Chiliad. The IAA, with mainly Agent 14 and Mrs. Phoenicia Rackman, also supported our plan to save the world from the evil egomaniac. The heist went successfully, and in the end of the action, we eventually shot down Avon's jetpack, most likely killing him. This chapter of our online character's actions can very well be considered the height of his own capabilities, as he was at the time not even a big criminal anymore, but quite literally involved with the bigger political problem solvings. Anyway, after this action, it was time once again to take things a bit more calmly. After the very tense end of the year that we had in 2017, it was time to take things a bit more slow in the next year of 2018. In summer of that year, we got involved with the nightclub business of Los Santos, as the legendary K. Tony decided to open his franchises in this part of the US. But like always, the nightclub didn't only work as a nightclub. At the back of it, we had the opportunity to once again conduct our own cargo storage and selling businesses.
Plenty of room, lots of storage. You can set up a hub for your other businesses, maybe. I don't know, I'm just saying. Whatever you need. I know nothing. I mean, I know everything, but make your way through there. You got a computer in there. You can bring another staff down here, your whole entourage, whatever you need. I'm sure you know how to set that up. And upstairs is another office with a computer on the same network. You can run the club businesses out of that. And the interior team ready to move in. Oh, and the name, the Palace. Let's go.
And in winter of 2018, we got involved with perhaps the weirdest area of interest up to this day. During that time, there was an Arena Wars series opened down in the Maze Bank Arena. Our online character bought himself a garage there to also start competing in the series with his own tuned monster vehicles. But it wasn't for long that our online character had the chance to kind of relax from the very fast-paced life that he had lived for years on end. In summer of 2019, there was this new diamond casino and resort opened in Los Santos. Although it all looked glamorous, and in all honesty it was, then behind that glamour was a real battle for power. The majority shareholder of the casino was the Cheng business family from China. Particularly, they were represented by Tao Cheng, the same weird young guy that Trevor had failed business talks in 2013.
This is my life's work. I mean, since I was a little kid, I dreamt big. You know, I've always wanted to be an international and a weapons trader. All right, so I'm begging you. Let's make this happen.
I'm very sorry.
You're sorry? Sorry? I just spilled my guts out to you, and you say to me you're sorry. Who you working with? Who?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh, no, you're at liberty. In fact, I'd say you are obliged. Who?
The O'Neill brothers.
The O'Neill brothers, huh?
Yeah.
You me?
No.
Cause those O'Neill brothers, I hear a little birdie telling me that they have a bit of a problem, since one of them's gonna have to be surgically removed from the skull of the other guys, and them!
Like always, his translator was once again there with him. The Cheng family, alongside with the CEO of the Diamond, Mrs. Agatha Baker, were fighting a power war against another business family, the Duggans, who had a minority sharehold in the casino, but who were keen on pushing the Chinese family away from the Diamond Casino. It was our online character who was invited to buy a penthouse in the Diamond, to then go and also help defend his own properties from the Duggans. Eventually, there were business talks between the Duggans and the Chengs in the Marlowe vineyard that ultimately ended in a shootout.
Where I come from, you don't get to pull a gun unless you're willing to use it. But maybe you do things differently in your parts. Now, when I return, we will continue this conversation as gentlemen. On second thought, I ain't a gentleman. Shoot the
Later on, it was the nephew of the main guy, Avery Duggan, who came to the Diamond board with a proposal to still buy out the casino, but also help kill his own uncle, so that the Chengs could leave the Diamond with their own dignity.
Forgive me, I come in peace again. Well, I'm sorry about how everything panned out, but maybe I can help your uncle and you leave with a little more dignity. And more, I will offer asking plus 20%, and a quick sale and a good relationship. But you gotta help me.
Help?
Kill my uncle.
Oh, Jesus. I cannot believe what I am not hearing.
And you'll keep your jobs. The diamond will remain the diamond. The entire team, even the monsieur.
Yeah!
You keep your jobs, and I can pull it off. If not, my uncle will attack you again.
And so, after the successful assassination of Avery Duggan, his nephew Thornton took over the family business and started a new chapter in the Diamond Casino action. But as it turned out, the chapter was in fact not to come too shiny. In December of 2019, it was Tao Cheng's younger sister, Mrs. Georgiana Cheng, who successfully got our online character alongside with actually Lester, who was at the time basically retired, to rob the Diamond Casino and its vaults.
You misunderstand. I don't want the casino back. I want them to wish they never heard of it.
How so?
You're going to rob it.
And why would we do that?
Aside from the vault stuffed with cash and different guest consignments every week, there's the challenge. Better security than anything you've ever seen. A truly dynamic and adaptive system.
No offense, Miss Chang, but every job I've ever done was impossible. Until I did it.
Perhaps. But do you know what? They told me you were the best in the business. And it only took me 5 minutes to clone yourself.
Although Lester was at first hesitant, then mainly because of his feelings towards Georgiana, he decided to take one last go of his career. The heist of course went successfully, and we even repeated the casino heist robbery 3 different times with 3 different approaches. But the more interesting part was that Lester, the weird guy living in his own creepy house, finally had a girlfriend.
How about now?
How did you hack my cell phone?
You're going to have to work harder for that.
The casino heist didn't in fact stay the only heist conducted during the second heist era of GTA Online. You remember how our online character also got employed by the infamous cartel leader Martin Madrazo in 2013? Well, the Madrazo family was back once again, this time represented by Martin's son, who most just called Mini Madrazo. They offered our online character to go and rob a completely isolated private island off the coast of Venezuela that was controlled by El Rubio, another famous cartel leader from South America with German roots. El Rubio had managed to get his hands on some sensitive files of the Madrazo family, which later turned out to be pictures of Martin's wife having fun with no one else but Trevor in 2013. Mini Madrazo connected us with their own Russian submarine captain Pavel, who was to help our online character throughout the whole heist.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Pavel, helmsman first class, also chief engineer, gunner, radar technician, and cook. Huh? You join me for red caviar later. 20 years old, but tastes like it was canned yesterday.
Our online character made his first landing to Cayo Perico during a party festival that El Rubio had set up, where they also for the first time met each other. Eventually it was time to rob the private mansion on Cayo Perico. The heist, like always, was successful, but when we came back to Los Santos, Mini Madrazo didn't seem to get the respect from his father that he perhaps expected for the files.
Excellent. Wait till my dad hears about this. Hey, Dad. Yeah, no, this'll be quick. Just wanted to let you know that Strickler thing, the files, yeah, I did it. No, they're in my hand. I took care of it. It's done. Yes. So you know what? I was thinking that maybe you and I could sit down again and talk about that crypto deal or that condo project that I mentioned, remember? Dad? Dad, hello? The service here, it's just third world, you know?
Anyway, now that we had completed the job for Mini Madrazo, Pavel and our online character decided to keep robbing the private island because of just how many valuable items there was to steal. But in all honesty, this also stayed as the last heist that we have ever conducted in the GTA Online action. After the heists, our online character made what I like to call the last big moves in summer of 2021. Our online character got involved in the illegal street racing scene of Los Santos and made many friends in the underground racing facility. With the connections we made from there, we eventually opened our own auto shop where we could tune cars to our clients' likings and then go and once again sell them. Basically, once again another import-export business in free mode. But alongside that, we also conducted missions in the car community scene that sometimes even involved in our online character really harassing other people.
And who the you little You don't look like the rest of these clowns. Out of here. Who you calling, your mama? Put that
What up? Put me on speaker. Recognize this voice?
Kenny.
What it do? Didn't think I'd find your in here, did you?
I swear I was gonna call you.
Slap the this let them know where the coming from. Now get up in that face and make sure he recognize how serious this is. You gonna lie to me again? Lucky it's my dog in your face and not me.
What was interesting about the street racing scene was that once in a while we could see Lamar's old Emperor vehicle in the LS car meet, hinting that we might once again see him. And all of that became to be a reality in the end of the year, where we were contacted by the notorious Franklin Clinton himself. From 2013 onwards, Franklin had focused on his family life rather than his career. Now, 8 years later in 2021, he once again was ready to get his hands dirty.
Now me, I'm a hustler that made it big. Big house, nice cars, a family and everything. But damn man, I miss getting these hands dirty. And from what I hear, you ain't got that problem.
His idea was to open up an agency that would solve the problems of the high society, A-list celebrities, billionaires, etc, etc. But he needed a partner for this agency who would be able to finance this plan. He turned to his best buddy from the school days, Lamar Davis, who told Franklin about our online character that Lamar had once himself invited to come and live in Los Santos. With the 8 years, we had built ourselves such a strong reputation that even Franklin was ready to trust us with our capabilities. Eventually our agency work got going and we landed our first big client to the roster, no one else but Dr. Dre himself. Dre's music files were leaked from his phone and he really wanted to pay back to whoever was behind that leakage. And so Franklin set up the first meeting with Dre on the LS golf course.
Yo Dre, this is Franklin Clinton. This is his associate. They gonna help us get that thing done, man.
What's up, dog? Appreciate you for having us.
Not a problem. Just give me a sec. You know what? I'll take a mulligan.
That was a perfect shot. You could sneeze and blow that in.
Nah. Hold up. I got this.
This is a game. The things I do for a hit record.
Eventually, it turned out that behind the leakage was Dre's old friend Johnny, who we eventually captured and who Dre himself beat down behind one of the hangars in the LSIA. That kind of concluded our agency work, and although after this work there were some adventures that Franklin and Lamar went to, it didn't really involve our online character. Unfortunately, from here we never ever reached such big heights in our career. career again. Now, from the 2021 agency work onwards, our online character's career hasn't really been up to the standards of his own qualifications. This trend has been like this for years on end, which potentially indicates for the eventual retirement of our online character. The guy that ran many businesses, conducted heists and even saved the world was in summer of 2022 called up by the IAA to conduct quite usual missions like a regular IAA agent. Our superior at the time in the agency wasn't our old friend Agent 14, but rather the other agent that we saved during the Doomsday Heist action, Agent ULP.
I know I never thanked you for saving my back then, and I'm not going to. It's against agency policy. And now down to business.
He offered a job for our online character to look into why the price of gas was so high in San Andreas and what involvement might the Duggans have in this, as other than owning the Diamond Casino, the Duggan business family had connections in the security industry but also in the oil and gas business. Our investigation came to a conclusion that another government organization, the FIB, that was a fierce rival of the IAA, was selling a modified version of the AI Clifford to the Duggans.
Remember Clifford? Yeah, Avon Hertz's AI title glitch? Of course you do. You were there for the kill. Well, it's back. Or at least part of it is. That's what the Duggans have been using to control the price of gas. You're buying archived Clifford backup drives from the FIB.
Now in 2022, Clifford's main task was to inflate the price of gas on the market so that the Duggans could have the largest possible profit margins. In the end of the work, we managed to once again steal the AI from Mason Duggan, the brother of Thornton, to make the oil price come back to normal. In the end of 2022, the old facilities of Trevor Phillips Industries were taken over by the Hooligans, who seemed to have connections with Ron Tchaikovsky, that once again called us up to join forces with the newly formed gang. With the help of the Hooligans, our online character stole a 6x6 brigade truck in which we created an acid lab, another very similar business that we already owned a bunch of. In 2023, our hangar mechanic Charlie Reed called us and talked about an idea of creating a new mercenaries group in the Los Santos area. He called it the Los Santos Angels and wanted our online character to be the team leader.
Okay, team leader, welcome to the maiden flight of the Los Santos Angels. We are inbound and cleared hot. Our target is a Merriweather field base located at the Davis Ports mining facility. You'll be flying into restricted airspace with probable surface-to-air batteries and extensive ground reinforcements. Your objective is to engage the enemy, up in general, and then land and recover and mobilize cache of whatever raw material they've been extracting.
The main task of the group was to once and for all take down Merriweather, which was at the time already quite weak from all the losses they had suffered against our online character throughout the decade, but also against Trevor Phillips in 2013. In the end, we managed to take down Merriweather, that seems to nowadays not even exist anymore. In the meanwhile, we joined forces with a notorious character from the Liberty City days, Yusuf Amir, who came to Los Santos to start new exotic car stealing business with the best criminal that there was in the city.
It's no wonder I keep hearing about someone with Los Santos in the palm of their hand. No, I say to myself, self, this is someone you should be in the business with. Ah yes, the world may change, but man's best friend? No, not dogs. Cars.
After that, we got in contact with a bounty hunter from the desert of Gran Senora, who again offered us some quite low-level jobs.
Takes a savvy investor to jump on an opportunity like this one. The price reflects our top-tier personnel. Just give me a second here.
And now finally, in late 2024 and 2025, Through our submarine captain Pavel, we were introduced to a former FIB agent that helped us to conduct all sorts of missions against the FIB through a back door she had left into the bureau for herself.
I still have a backdoor access into FIB records, so I pulled up your file. Quite a read.
The latest rival for our online character has been the Eberhard Munitions company that has seemed to replace Merryweather in the private military business.
Okay, so I did some digging. That plane is the Titan 250D, brand new. Belongs to some weapon manufacturer called Eberhard Munitions. Big players. Big players. Major political connections. Yesterday, no one's heard of them. Today, they've got every government contract in the business, and now they're clamping down on the only competition left. People like us.
And this kind of sums up our incredible story that we have had over the last 12 years with our online character. There have been many different chapters in the story, which now seem to kind of come to an end with a major downfall in the level of missions that we have conducted. I mean, really, while in 2017 we were literally saving the world, then in 2024 we were completing bounty hunt missions for an old lady living in the desert. If that's not an indication of a soon-to-be retirement, I don't know what is. But which era of our online character has been your own favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to also check out my other documentaries about the GTA universe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.